Hello and welcome to Zgermanguy Reviews. I'm Zgermanguy. So, if you have any questions about what this is, not all of this in general, that is what my therapist has been trying to figure out for years now, but this franchise in particular, watch my previous review. Broadly speaking, there's a girl that was the Bart Simpson of her generation called Pipi Longstocking. She does what she wants, whenever she wants, and she is super strong. So let's not waste any time and dig right in. This is Two More P movies. For all ages. We begin the movie with a look at Herr Nielsen, who looks like he is covered in moss. Maybe he is going to tell us where the ancient weapon is so that we can defeat the Dark Lord. Her two best friends, whose name I already forgot again and which I will only Google if it is unavoidable, look for her. They want to do something nice for her and decide to bake a cake. And then the house is on fire. I don't even need to see the rest of the movie. Kids burning shit down, 10 out of 10 stars. The cake is so hard that not even the girl that munches on nails is getting it down. They bake a new one and the speed kicks in. Turns out I'm forced to look up their names after all, because this is obviously going to be a story centered around these two. Why? The boy Tommy reads a book and explains to his sister Annika that it's about a bunch of kids that ran away from home and it was awesome. I only read about 20 pages, but thus far, Our Tears Were Blood is an exciting children's adventure. Luggage is packed and the kids are on their way. They have a nice day eating some strawberries, but then it starts to get dark and it's about to rain. Soon later, they find a good place to sleep for the night. Backwoods serial killer hideout. When they enter, they find this guy, playing the soundtrack for Area 51. His name is Konrad, who sells all sort of junk, including this green glue, describing his product as so strong that you could build skyscrapers with it. And he just lets the kids play with it. And these morons just leave it inside a container behind a chemical plant. Konrad is gonna turn this green glue into green. Oh, now Konrad's skin is coming off. Konrad found a new pimple removal cream. And then they party hard. Oh, don't worry, honey. This is just a harmless little hallucination caused by the green slime. It will only last for 37 years. Konrad leaves the next morning before Interpol can find him and dispose of his weapons of mass destruction in the desert. The kids leave as well and climb down a mountain. Annika nearly falls to her doom, but Pipi says, as she often does, fuck physics. The super strong girl asks her friends to put her in a barrel and throw her into the river for the fun of it. Have you ever considered that all her suicidal stunts might be just a cry for help? This results in the group being separated. So now Annika and Tommy really are all on their own. They are hungry, tired, and it's getting dark. And it's really interesting to see a children's book movie with a super strong girl that owns her own house and horse lecturing kids about being realistic when it comes to running away from home and what to expect. Meanwhile, literally jumping off a cliff and treating a firearm like it's a bubble gun is like, well, whatever. In a nearby town, our wonder child wants to get a bike so she can look for her friends and takes what she needs. How have these movies not been memed yet? It's beyond me. Me at 5 AM in the morning after a couple of energy drinks. The gang gets back together and they are really hungry now, so they start begging. Yeah, the great Nordic famine of the 70s, who could have ever forget? Did you know that the Swedish chef lived through that? It's true, it's all in his autobiography. Such a poor tortured spirit. They jump on a train to their next destination.
Oh my god, this is going to be awesome! Ow! The dust! It's like being shot in the eyes by a glitter gun!
After singing a little song to pass the time, they jump on a hay wagon next. This girl's drilling program is harder than that of Full Metal Jacket. The kiddos end up on a farm where they get to play with the other kids, and we get some cutie animals! Oh my god, it's so fluffy, I'm gonna die! But we can't leave it at that. We need something to balance out all the non-action, which is why Pipi fights a bull. Next, they fix a car and use Conrad's product as fuel. And that's how the environment got irreversibly damaged, so much so that it spawned creatures that would make the horrors in Resident Evil blush. Pipi ends up running behind the car with the same level of speed. So, could she not have simply pulled the motor carriage with her strength? Or heck, since she is basically a god that rewrites existence itself whenever she feels like it, fly? I swear on the grave of my pet bunny, which is located right next to that of my grandma, that I did not know that this was going to happen before I wrote this down. So this is the Swedish version of Shitty Shitty Bang Bang, I take it? Well, all we need now is a child abductor. Things I thought I would never say, part 11. They crash into a lake and take a swim, during which their clothes disappear. Now they are in the middle of nowhere, without money, without food, dressed in a burlap sack. But not to worry, Pipi dances on a rope in the middle of the city to get new funding for their little alternative living project. But very quickly life is crappy again and they start to realize that maybe they should have never left home. During a downpour they meet Conrad again, who tells them, well, that's how it is when you live on the road. Thankfully, Pipi's mighty steed returns to pick them up. A horse, as if she had any need for that. Just open up a portal, or noble one. The parents are overjoyed to see their kids again. And I know this movie has been running for nearly 90 minutes now, but I think the situation does very much need a serious talk between children and kids. Something along the lines of, just because I'm strict with you doesn't mean I don't love you, or we are sorry we ran away, Mom and Pop. But no, it's like, yeah, we were a bit worried, now you are back, let's eat. Which makes it look like as if running away is no big deal in the first place. Pipi Longstocking, consistently teaching the wrong lessons. Then again, what do you expect from a witch? This movie has the same structure as the ones I already reviewed. There's no strict plot line that is being covered. More an accumulation of random events that eventually just end. Which is fine, because that's how I remember a lot of days from my early childhood. Feeling like a dream, no real beginning or end. But by God, they really need to learn how to communicate topics better. Sure, if you're a person that pays attention, the message, if you think of running away from home, don't, will be self-explanatory. But others may think that running away really is all fun and games. The time period when Annika and Tommy were all on their own could have been a good opportunity to let them experience real hardships. Make it at least 10 or 20 minutes longer and put it at the end of the film that drives the point home that without Pipi as your bodyguard, you are Wow, they allow that to be said on children's TV? But aside from that, it doesn't come close to the other stories, which felt a lot more adventurous and gave me a much greater sense of childhood freedom. They tried to recreate the sense of absolute freedom that you felt when you were playing outside, with the reality that actually being all on your own in the wild and not knowing how to survive is terrifying. If the movie had been about the three kids going on a camping trip to get some breathing room from their parents, then it would have worked infinitely better. These films are good at doing the fantastical and whimsical, but terrible about teaching any real morals. That was Pipi out of control, but stay right where you are because that was just the soup. Now it's on for the main course. This is Pipi in Takka land. We begin the movie with two ships having a battle and quickly move over to Pippi's two best friends, who, after their parents left for a couple of weeks, are very excited to spend that time with Miss Troublemaker. The usual shenanigans ensue. After dinner, Pipi tells them about one of her family members, a great pirate who stole an unimaginable amount of riches and hid it away on an island somewhere. This treasure is known as the One Piece, which people still haven't found after 25 years, and at this point, I'm very sure, will only serve as funding for their army to repel the alien invasion in whatever ludicrous arc they're on right now. She decides to visit her grandfather and wants to walk across the sea, but she can't. Pipi's powers don't work anymore. Pipi's powers don't work anymore. Pipi's powers don't work anymore. This is the apocalypse!
And when the Lamb broke the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of the martyrs.
By coincidence, the kids find a message in a bottle. It's from Pipi's father, who explains that his ship was attacked and that he was kidnapped by pirates, who brought him to their base. There, they torture him so that they can find out where the Longstocking family gold is hidden. They use a magic crystal ball, which Pipi just has, because of course she does, to tell them where they need to go. And what other place could that be than Tukka land? They choose to travel with a giant air balloon, which Pipi also just happens to have. Just roll with it. After a while, they go to sleep. When they wake up, they realize that they are losing height. Well, the solution here is obvious. Tommy, Annika, get out. They go to sleep again and end up on top of a mountain. And this is why you never make it outside the tutorial area of D&D. The next day, after they lost their balloon, Pipi makes the command to continue by foot.
Wat nou doen, Pipi? We stappen uit en gaan lopen.
Hold on, I think between being on a mountain and being on the ground, there are a few steps that you just skipped. On the other hand, her powers are back. So, I guess I won't have to shower in gasoline later after all. Pray, my children, that this incomprehensible entity never turns evil or insane. For if she does, she will drown the world in madness. Anyway, they build a plane with some crap they find on a dump, and they are back on track. Past a volcano, and hundreds of miles later, they crash on a tropic island. Annika, you build shelter. Tommy, you collect coconuts, while I'll draw a face on this volleyball. One morning, they hear singing, coming from a pirate ship. They trick the sea bandits, making them think they are strange ghostly voices calling out to them, promising that great fortunes are waiting. Since when is it a good idea to go towards the strange noises? And even if you show up with your entire crew, what are you going to do? Stab them with your swords? Yeah, we know it's not going to hurt the ghosts, but we kind of hope it's like the "we are not touching you" situation. Eventually it's going to be so annoyed that it freely leaves. The children enjoy their time as sailors until they arrive on Pirate HQ. Knowing, however, that they are unlikely to win against hundreds of cannons, they decide to sneakily infiltrate. And what better way to learn about pirate culture than going into a tavern and getting into a fight with the scoundrels? Tortuga. The two bosses of the criminal seamen show up, and Pipi plainly tells them who she is and what she is going to do, getting her father out so they better don't get in her way. But of course, the pirates don't give up without a fight and show up with an army. But Pipi huffs and puffs and the whole bar turns dark. Being in a hurry now, the leaders of the gang tell Pipi's father that they are going to shoot him if he doesn't help them. But obviously they are not really going to do that, since how are they going to get the gold if the only person who knows where it is dead? A local boy our heroes became friends with helps them to distract the guards. The trio hides inside a well and waits for it to go dark. The prison cell of Herr Longstock is discovered and they help him by feeding him for a while. However, he is found out eventually and put into the deepest, darkest dungeon. So the kids realize the only option now is to bust him out. And so Pipi walks straight to the pirate bastion with a huge powder keg on her head, making the pirates not even want to come close to her. Terrorism! It just works.
Remember, remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
A chain of massive explosions alerts the pirates.
Come over here.
Have you found it?
So, those like dual barrels over here.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man.
Who realize that they have to get the information out of him now. So they tickle him, the last thing they haven't tried. And surprisingly, it works. But it turns out Papa Longstock lied to them, giving him time to escape. In the rain of cannon fire, they manage to go straight for the treasure. The valuables are picked up from the grotto. One problem though, the pirates followed them. They catch Annika and Tommy and demand they get the gold in exchange for their lives. No? Bye! Our heroes have a trick up their sleeve. They take the boat of Pipi's father back that they stole before, leaving the pirates stranded. But they are not that mean. They offer them to sell a guide on how to build a raft, if they give them one of their treasure chests. The first chapter informs them that they need an axe to cut down trees, which they don't have.
Use your f***ing brain. How do you get wood? How do you get wood?
Watching informative murder porn?
No, in this Minecraft forest, how do you get wood?
Punching trees?
Right.
So Pipi gives them one, which they have to pay for with the rest of the gold. This is basically an essay about economic monopoly power come to life. And so daughter and father are reunited and the movie ends with all of them going home. Unlike the other 3 films I have talked about before, there's an actual plot in this. True, there's still a bit of filler here and there, but it does have a 3-act structure. Things happen in a chain of events, one after another, and not like before, short clips that could have gone on for another 6 hours, or all randomly mixed up. Which is nice, because in Pipi Out of Control I was already getting tired of their methodology. It's good seeing them try something new. For instance, Pipi for the first time actually has different emotions than just happy and more happy. She's worried for her father. Obviously, it's not Hamlet, but I always like it when a franchise avoids getting stuck in a loop by embracing the new. The story is good enough, a bit boring at times, but ultimately low-key family entertainment. It certainly kills some time, but even when you are someone like me who can make the most crappy movie enjoyable by riffing on it, that is going to be difficult because there isn't all that much happening. You may also notice that I showed some disdain for Tommy and Annika here. That's because I really wished Pipi went out alone this time. Yeah, I get it, she needs someone to talk to since this isn't a book and we can't see her inner thoughts. Although movies certainly can do that, there is no rule that says they can't, and some of the best movies of all time, like American Psycho, have done it before. My point is, Pipi's best friends are just useless. More than useless. They are one more unnecessary obstacle for our hero to overcome. Plus, it would help if they actually had a personality. But yeah, they exist to make impressive faces when Pipi does one of her superhuman tricks. So, in that regard, job well done. I had definitely enough Pipi for now. Yeah, grow up. I don't know when I will return to this, but when I do, I will most likely just quickly go over the 2 series, and that's it. For now, I'm just done. In the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. See you next time. Zgermanguy out and auf Wiedersehen.